Okay, so I'm getting ready to head to the bank. I've taken a shower and gotten my hair a little more gecko. Hey, so before I take off, in the off chance that I'm not able to retrieve that other video in such a way that makes it watchable, let me quickly explain why it's important for me to be opening a bank account in France. There's problems with the euro. There's obviously problems with European banking. The last thing in the world I want to do is have my money tied up in a French bank. But if you're moving to France, there's a lot of things that necessitate you being able to clear payments within the French banking system. The biggest of which is a cell phone contract. Now there may be some ways around that, and I'm working on a way or testing it, and I'll video log about that later. But in the meantime, there's three major French cell phone companies, and each of them, it seems, requires that you have a French bank account before they'll give you a contract. And a contract is important because if you try and do a prepay, which is usually kind of a cheap way to get around things, I try to do that with an iPhone, and it costs about between 30 and 50 euros for an hour or two worth of time on your iPhone. And if you're silly enough to leave your iPhone on where it's like actually trying to receive emails and things like that, it'll actually suck your time while your iPhone's in your pocket. So you'll get off about one call, maybe one text. 50 euros later, your iPhone's going to stop working. It's going to send you a text message in French, which you won't understand. You'll take to Google Translate and determine that indeed you're out of time and you need to re-up your iPhone. So I'm going to shoot this video up here a little bit higher because I was a little bit appalled when I shot the last one. I walked around town with the size of my jowls when shot from down here. So I don't know if I have the delta power to hold this Canon power shot up above my head for the entirety of the walk, but we're going to try. I'm walking with my lovely wife.
I don't remember how to get to the bank. So.
You don't? So we go straight down, then we take a left.
Straight down?
Yeah. Now most of the Parisians right now are looking at me going like, doesn't that white boy know that he needs to like get a small handheld camera if he's going to try and do this? And not to try and do it with a Canon?
There's a lot of angles here, so don't worry.
Oh yeah, sorry. Doesn't that idiot American know that he's not supposed to be trying to hold a Canon up and his arm is going to get tired? Well, this one is, because my arm is already getting tired.
Just let people be ignorant.
Alright, so as you can see, there's a lot of construction.
Don't people know that this is called vlogging, not touristing? It's called vlogging.
Oh.
Vlogging. That's not a tourist app. That's called a vlogging.
I think they're probably more shocked by the English being so loud. So here's some pretty typical cars here. Citroën, Peugeot. It's amazing how similar those two cars look in shape and everything else. Apparently those are different companies. Then we also have the Renault, which looks like almost the same car again to me. Not a whole lot of originality in French car design. Here's another Renault. Yeah, they pretty much go for all the same thing. In fact, the Mercedes has a car that's almost identical. It's pretty popular here as well. See if I can get through this intersection without getting killed. So I'll give you a quick glimpse of some of the architecture around here. It's pretty nice. We got a couple cash machines here at banks that I'm not going to try. Soc Gen, really big French bank. One of the too big to fail. Apparently we have to hurry because the bank's going to cut out at 12:30 and that's going to be it. A nice little commercial district here, and I'm going to show you the fruit and vegetable market because that might be interesting to some of you who are thinking about coming here to live. Quickly. Looks pretty bodacious actually. Let's look at some of the prices. The nectarines are 2.49 euros a kilogram. You're looking at about $1.50 a pound there. My favorite cell phone company, Orange. Not. Love that brand, but God, they're terrible. Lacoste, the ever-popular Izod, has their own store here. Apparently Orange is the next thing. And we got SFR, another one of the cell phone companies that have told us that we have to have a bank account. And we got about 4 or 5 more blocks before we get to HSBC. Might be looking a little winded by the time I get there at this pace.
Might walk it too fast.
Um,
Very fast walker with proper shoes.
Apparently he just found out that he needs a bank account before he can open a cell phone as well. So here's something called a bar tabac. Let me show you this. They sell cigarettes here, obviously. Or maybe not obviously, but what you can also do is you can get all your crap fest stuff, like a lotto tickets and recharge your cell phone and things like that. Pretty useful if you want to go for a prepay sort of arrangement. For us, it's not really working out with the iPhone. I think for a simpler phone that doesn't try and get data, where you don't really have a need to get data on your phone, it'd probably work out pretty well. Quickly here, I'm going to show you a Levi's store, because Levi's are really popular here. Levi's and Ray-Bans and Chuck Taylors are like all the rage here in Paris still. So it's considered a foreign good, obviously, all those things, and they come at a premium. Here's Orange makes a lot of money, and so much so that they can afford an Orange store pretty much every block. So here we go. It's kind of like a Starbucks. When you're selling crap that costs $1 for $50, I can see why. It's like this is the French equivalent of a Panda Express. Actually, it looks a little more high end than a Panda Express.
It doesn't look bad. I just feel like I might
Get sick?
Yeah. I know how to cook Asian food, and that looks quite, I don't know, old. Maybe a little chocolate shop. This is dedicated to bonbons. I think we have a friend that would really like that.
Clearly.
This 12 o'clock.
So it must be noon. I think we got a half hour here. Cruzamos. So there we are. We're at our destination, HSBC. I think HSBC was just in the news today that they lost $2 billion. Let's see if they'll let me give them my money. Bye. Hong Kong, Shanghai, Bank of China, France. Apparently, they've got enough too big to fail money that they don't need my money because I still can't open an account without a bill. And there's a number of bills that I can't actually change over to my name without a bank account. I think that's what you call a classic catch-22, or in other words, a classic French expat dilemma.